Welcome into this Wednesday edition of the Exxon Podcast. Chase Farm, Neil McCready, Clark Ford Studio this afternoon, right at 1 o'clock as we are recording. Lane Kiffin on the SEC teleconference a bit ago. Didn't really have much to say, but nonetheless, that is up at rebelgrove.com. If you are curious, we'll mention it as we move through the day. Also, with it being another bye week, another Wednesday of a bye week, I asked for some questions from you guys. You delivered a lot of them. We'll kind of pick and choose some of them. For the most part, as we move on with today's show. A little bit of news, but not a ton as far as it pertains to Ole Miss or the college football landscape today. So we'll get into it on the podcast brought to you every single day by the Oxford Exxon, Highway 6 West in Oxford, $5.69 lunch specials, 2 sides bread, 32-ounce drink. Take advantage of that. If you don't want to go inside the convenience store, inside the Blue Sky today, you just pay right there at the pump with your SpeedPass Plus app. When you download it, it's an efficient way to get back on the road. You earn points and save money in the process with the Oxford Exxon and all Blue Sky locations in Mississippi. And again, coming to you from the Clark Ford studio.
We are Clark Ford's in Amory, Mississippi, 662-257-1900. Call that number. Ask for Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford product you're looking for. He'll send you a quote within business hours. All you got to do is ask for a quote. Tell him what you're looking for. He'll send it to you. You can do the rest. You can shop it around if you'd like. You can do what I've done. But I recommend that you do, and that's hop into a Clark Ford today, 662-257-1900. You get great service, really phenomenal service. You get a great product. Corey wants to be your car guy. He wants to be your truck guy. He'll prove to you what that means when you make the call, 662-257-1900. Guests, join us on the Rafters Music and Food Hotline. Rafters Music and Food be open this weekend. Be a great place to go hang out, watch the football games. The Rebels aren't playing, but other people are, supposedly. So you can go check that out on all the screens there. Enjoy the drink specials, burgers, po' boys, appetizers, all of that at Rafters Music and Food. And don't forget, Rafters Music and Food in New Albany is open Tuesday through Sunday as well.
First basketball game tomorrow night, 7 o'clock tip. The Rebels and Jackson State. Ole Miss getting started a little late as those first 4 games were postponed, canceled. I guess postponed technically because all have been rescheduled.
Well,
except
unless Coach K has his way, which we might just cancel the whole season.
Well, if Duke's not 4-0, let's go ahead and cancel things. That's what that felt like. Hey,
Yep.
I don't know. We're losing, so we're going to take our ball and we're going to go home.
They got smoked by Illinois.
Kansas State losing to a D2 school last night. Fort Hays State knocking out the Wildcats.
Well, when you don't have a typical offseason, it can get weird.
And it is. Yeah. I have not. It was all over the internet. I didn't look and see what Bruce Weber said after the game yesterday. People were retweeting his video.
Oh, really?
Everywhere. Yeah, but
I didn't.
I have no idea. I didn't see it.
I said this in my mailbag today, and I've noticed it lately. I have to make myself watch sports. I have to literally make myself do it. And so I'm not there with college basketball yet. Maybe once I start covering some games, I'll start to watch it. I know that Ole Miss, what's today, the 9th? I mean, Ole Miss opens SEC play in 20 days. So I need to start watching those teams so that I can write about them and talk about them. I'm just kind of not there yet.
Yeah, I feel like I really, really watch. Now we're higher than recommended, so we're all good now. It's fixing itself, by the way. I guess I don't really think about that. I am wearing a Jackson State hat on the last podcast before they tip. Sorry.
It'd be okay.
I did not, I feel like it doesn't have the same impact if I it's coming in with like a War Eagle shirt or something spread across. So, yeah, I think probably going to be okay.
If Kermit gets upset about it, I'll say, hey, look.
Take it up with him. I don't know.
I feel safe in saying Kermit will not be upset about it.
Well, I'm celebrating that Mike Markison has reappeared. He's on Deion Sanders' staff at Jackson State. Yeah.
No joke.
Yeah, no shit.
Well, good for him.
Yeah.
I like Mike.
Yeah, oh yeah, too. Yeah, Deion put out his staff, and Mike Markison reappeared.
How about that? Good for him.
You didn't see that?
No, I saw that he put out a staff, but
it didn't it was not littered with all these huge names that we were anticipating.
I've been slammed this morning, so I didn't see it.
Apparently, there's no money.
Shocking.
Yeah, no.
Well, good for Mike.
Yeah. So Mike is at Jackson State as the offensive line coach, I guess. I did not look at titles or positions, but I know he's not the offensive coordinator because the offensive coordinator is some guy from high school football in Georgia. So Deion brought over for that. But, yeah.
Mason's asking, when's the next soft verbal? I'm going to be honest with you, Mason. I don't know because here's the thing. It might be this weekend. It might be tomorrow. It won't be Friday because I'm not going to be here Friday. I'm going down to Jackson to watch Caroline's last competition. I've always promised. I've missed her state competitions her freshman, sophomore, and junior year, and I've promised.
Have you really?
Yeah, I had to work and take care of Carson and stuff, and so this year I'm going. I promised myself if I had a pulse, I was going to go. So I'm doing that on Friday. So we might do it. We might do one over the weekend. We might wait till Monday. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff happening. There's a commitment coming tonight. There's a commitment coming in the morning. So maybe we'll wait and do it tomorrow. Who knows?
Okay.
I don't know.
Fair enough.
We in an ideal world, we probably would do one Friday, but we won't do one Friday.
Yeah, everybody said morning in the top of the chat. It's 1 o'clock, guys. Unless you're in like L.A. or something. We're moving into the afternoon. I mean, it's getting like almost acceptable time for you to like pop a cocktail while you watch us or something.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
If you're in L.A., it's still morning.
Yeah. Has anyone ever told me that I look like Spence from King of Queens? I've never watched King of Queens.
Oh, you never watched that?
No, I don't know that show.
That's a pretty good
That's
show.
not a sitcom that I ever followed much.
I would watch that some. I wouldn't seek it out. I'm kind of like that. That show and 2.5 Men. If they're on,
okay.
I'll watch them.
Okay.
2.5 Men, every episode's basically the same.
Yeah.
You just follow along.
Miss Al game's back in Montgomery this year. Is that right?
Yeah, next week.
Okay.
And coverage of that will not be typical because, excuse me, no face-to-face is allowed. So if you read reports of coverage like live interactions, the reporters are lying.
Or like meeting the kids in like restaurants and stalking them in bars and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be allowed.
You don't think that's allowed?
I'm fairly sure.
I mean, I do remember back in the day when a certain commitment story popped up on a certain website at 4:15 in the morning accidentally that had just been, written a couple hours previous to that. One of the maddest things I've ever been. God, I was so pissed off. Like, because, it was back in that Twitter era. Because what happened, whatever, it's been 10 years. So what happened was, remember how Twitter used to have the thing where they would automatically send your stories out? Like, you could use those RSS feeds or something. And, like, if we publish something, we can make Twitter just automatically throw it out for us so we didn't have to go through the whatever to that. Well, one of the other writers over there had that on. So when I wake up that morning, I'm looking through Twitter and I see like 4:08 in the morning. And, but it was really strict. This was 13. And Freeze was really big on, hey, leave the damn kids alone until they get off campus. Like, wait till that 9 or 10 o'clock, like that, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And, the whole, like, hey, how was your visit story was published or accidentally for a minute at, like, 4:08 or something. It's like, oh, hold on. Like, what happened? And turned out the interview took place at, like, 12:48.
Oh, I remember that.
Square.
On the square.
Yeah. It was.
That was one of the things that led to Chad for a little while, right? I decided that, okay, if we're going to do this,
I think it was in response to Chad. It was a freak out over Chad. We had done Chad in 2013, so I think it was like because Chad would report on that situation too.
Yeah.
Chad would report about, hey, this is going on over here, or this is whatever. Or, hey, here's who else is in the building. I mean,
oh, it's great.
Yeah. I think it was in response to Chad, or it was at least relevant to Chad there. So, oh, geez. Anyway, let's
I would always say to Ole Miss, why can't you police that to some degree?
Yeah. So we'll see what we got. Beau Wallace, new offensive coordinator at Pearl River. He goes from Kahoma. There's a big thread on the board about him being a very important recruit back at the Ole Miss in the day. The most important recruit of the Freeze era, there's no doubt.
Sure.
So good luck to Beau at Pearl River. He made the best out of a pretty tough situation at Kahoma. Kahoma is not good at football. They're one of by far the worst JUCOs in Mississippi and has been able to elevate a little bit. So hopefully his career continues to move in a positive direction.
I hope so. I always like Beau.
Yeah. And then Ohio State is going to get to play in the title game. The Big Ten is changing the rules. I know we're all stunned and blown away by that.
I
never
honestly,
saw that I don't
coming.
even really care or mind. Like, they made up rules a couple months ago, change them, whatever. I don't care, but you knew it was happening. There was no doubt on what was always going to be the case. Here is my problem. I don't think the rules had been changed if Ohio State is 6-1 and Indiana is 5-0.
No, they're taking care of the big boy.
Yeah,
They're admitting they have a favorite.
Yeah. That's the only part of it is I think it was selective changing. But either way, whatever.
Yeah.
they'll be like a 20-point favorite over Northwestern. They'll play them in the title game next week, and Ohio State will make the college football playoff along with Alabama, Clemson, and Notre Dame, I guess. I guess if Notre Dame beats Clemson twice, then A&M might get in. But, again, we had this conversation yesterday. I don't know.
Shane Huey says when following recruiting was at its climax at Ole Miss and Miss Chad, LOL. The thing with Chad is it was funny for a couple of years.
It was informative. It was funny because it was all true.
It was all true.
We took a lot of creative license, but the information was correct.
Yeah. And after a while, I just sort of lost my taste for it.
Well, I mean, that was at a time when frankly, we were fighting for things to be done a certain way on the beat. We were complaining, and we were kind of skidding into our own curve a little there. You know what I mean? I mean, that's the only thing there.
Well, it was me pointing out the lunacy of what was happening.
Yeah.
And, we get the call about, are y'all making stuff up? I'm like, no. We've got someone there.
Yeah, Chad.
And it was like, but why? And I'm like, well, that's the question.
Well, because in our heads, we're okay, that rule's being broken. You told us we can't go. That doesn't mean I can't have a stringer.
Yeah.
Know.
I mean,
it's just a message board poster. What do you mean to do? I can't kick them out of the library.
Well, my point was, if you're going to allow contact from a media entity, this was the whole argument. You can't say you're not media.
Okay, we're good. Go ahead.
Okay.
We're good. There's going to be a little lag for like 2 seconds. Just hang with the people. Go ahead.
You can't say you're not media and then go to press conferences or events wearing a credential, because the credential is only given to media. Therefore, you're media. So if you're media, you're subject to the rules that other media are subject to. And the rule is no interaction during
the official visit.
Yeah. Because it's technically an NCAA violation.
Correct.
And they have to self-report it.
Yes.
Like the time that I'm down on the field years ago.
I remember this.
And Andy Kennett, no, it was with Andy?
It was Andy.
Andy calls me over because I'd talked to some kid on the phone, some basketball kid.
Because even I got popped on this with Andy one time. It's like, hey, come say hello. And it's like, I don't know what to do.
So I go over and I say hi to the kid, and then I leave.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't say, hey, here's $10,000 or any. I just said, hey, how's it going? Good to see you in person.
That's a bitchin' mall over there being built.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see the mall? Yeah. No, but I did nothing. I mean, I literally said, hello, it's nice to meet you. I'll talk to you soon. Out. Mm-hmm. That turns into a NCAA self-report,
yeah.
Which I thought was stupid.
It was.
I mean,
that was Matt Ball being Matt Ball.
Just being,
well, that was the year where they couldn't figure out where to put us. So they kept moving us farther and farther away from everything. At one point, it's like, okay, you get to go in the south end zone in that corner behind the ribbon. It's like, well, at this point.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Okay,
yeah,
sure.
It's dumb. So anyway, where was I on Chad? So I was like, so if he's there as media, he's violating the rules.
Yeah.
And the answer was, well, we can't really police what you all do away from campus.
Okay.
So then what was said was like, we can't stop you from going. And I said, well, no, but I can stop me from going. And you literally could stop people
We
from
just
going.
had a very overzealous subscriber that went to the message board and explained what happened. I don't know.
So, because you could say to a media outlet, look, we can't technically, but we can, and we will.
Yeah.
We could pull your credential and just be done with it. But they didn't want to do that, so whatever. So I was like, all right, so why don't we put somebody there? Mm-hmm. And so different times, people are always like, who's Chad? Chad was about 5 different people.
We had one kingpin that we used multiple years that was Chad. Frankly, he still gets called Chad by some people that know to this day. It's like, yeah, okay, great.
Yeah, and so I knew that person was not going to be available every year for perpetuity.
Yeah.
And I was not going to be in the mood to continue to interview prospective Chads. So I killed him finally. Yeah. But that's what that was. I mean, he would call or he would text me what was going on, and I turned it into this story. Yeah. And I'm sitting here watching the NBA on a Friday night, drunk, and writing the story.
Yeah.
And basically wrote it until I was tired of it, and then I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it would go to 1:30 in the morning.
1:30 in the morning. It was crazy.
Yeah. Jeez. Simpler times.
In a way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think our point was proven.
It was.
Because there were people there who were amused. They wanted to be irritated, but they were more amused than they were irritated. And so their irritation that they tried to express ended up being laughter.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? I'm like, you know exactly what I'm doing.
Pinpoint two Ole Miss related things really dumb on Twitter today. One, this was just an innocuous question that I don't mind being asked at a press conference, but then celebrating it's really weird. So, Texags, today during Jimbo Fisher's teleconference appearance, he was asked, is there any chance the Aggies play Ohio State this week? Obviously, just trying to win a game. And clearly the SEC is not going to allow that. But okay, ask the question, and Jimbo just goes no. And that's it. Ross comes in behind it and quote tweets it and goes, "That's our coach, exclamation point. We are focused on finishing our season as strong as possible on December 19th at Tennessee. Whoop, exclamation point." You're celebrating that you don't get to play a top 5 team that would get you into the playoff if you
sure.
won?
Oh, done.
Like the lack of flexibility is being celebrated because your coach answered a question with a one-word answer? Like, I like your Ross, but I don't understand why we're celebrating this on Twitter. It's really strange.
Frankly, if I'm A&M, I would have early this week
campaigning
because you.
Hey, they're breaking their rules. Hey, look, we can whatever.
Because look, if the fact that the Ole Miss game got canceled on Monday tells you that A&M pretty much knew on Saturday or Sunday that game was getting canceled.
Yeah,
you could have come out on. You could have done some back channel stuff and tried to pull it off. Yeah. Blame the league.
Yeah,
but not. Yeah, just come on.
Weird, but it can't top this one.
There's something better?
Oh, yeah, this one's better.
And that was Ross trying way too hard.
Yeah. Is Whoop an A&M thing?
Oh, hell, I
WHOOP?
Never.
Whoop.
That's I've been able to avoid that cult.
Yeah.
It is a cult.
They make everybody else look really sane. Like, seriously, every other fan base in the league goes,
because I've had people go like, well, Auburn's kind of a cult too. I'm like, yeah, maybe so, but Auburn's a lot nicer.
It's cult-like.
They're a lot
light compared to A&M.
Very light. And they're a lot more normal and pleasant.
Yeah.
I've never had a pleasant.
A&M's not overly pleasant. That's the point.
A&M's not pleasant. I've never really had an unpleasant interaction with Auburn with the exception of Marcelo.
Well, their deal with Texas has left this chip on their shoulder that never comes off.
I guess so.
No matter who they're dealing with. So,
yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, no, you might have seen this in the Beau Wallace thread.
Whoop is apparently an A&M thing. I don't know how the hell. I don't know how the hell they keep up.
He must have gotten a manual when he took the job. I should have asked him, like, did you get a manual?
Well, remember when he said he did the thumbs up wrong?
And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, well, never mind.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, Grind says very light. Yeah, very light. It's yeah. I mean. So a little obsessive with the War Eagle, but that's it. A&M has like 30 of those War Eagle things.
Yeah. So Devontae Kincaid, former Ole Miss quarterback, backup quarterback, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
Quote tweets Bleacher Report, who puts it's two pictures next to one another. It's Carson Wentz and then Jalen Hurts next to him, and he has like a look on his face like smiling. Jalen's picture. Obviously, Jalen Hurts is replacing Carson Wentz this week against the Saints. Devontae quote tweets, "Me, 2013 to 15, I just didn't understand. Quote, if you know, you know," implying he should have been the starting quarterback over Beau Wallace and Chad Kelly during his college career at Ole Miss.
So Devontae is implying that he wasn't the quarterback because he's black?
I don't know if it's that. I don't know. I'm just saying either way, Devontae is signaling that he should have been the quarterback at Ole Miss from 13 to 15. I have no idea that race would be involved in any way, but...
I mean, listen, I like Devontae fine, but I would watch practice.
Yeah.
And he wasn't as good as those guys.
Well, not even close.
I mean, he came in as a young quarterback when Beau was a veteran.
He was in the 13 class. So, yeah, he was a true freshman Beau's junior year.
And he redshirted, right?
I guess, yeah. And then they both played against Arkansas in 14 after Beau got hurt when it was that catastrophe.
Oh, yeah.
Because they played Devontae and Ryan and went, oh, God, we don't have a quarterback.
That was the game that ended at the Peach Bowl, the year that...
Yeah. That's what spurred the signing of Chad Kelly.
Yeah. Truth is, we've said this before. We always go down these memory lane things. Freeze didn't want to sign Chad Kelly.
Mm-mm.
He was very resistant to signing Chad Kelly.
He wanted Ryan Buchanan or Devontae Kincaid to be the quarterback.
Until that week when at practice, Beau couldn't practice.
Yeah, his ankle was hurt.
They were protecting his ankle until Thursday.
Yeah.
And it became obvious to anybody that was watching that neither one of those guys was ready to be the quarterback next season. And so it was like, well, I guess we should go get Kelly, because right about the same time.
Because Chad's offers at that point were Virginia Tech and Indiana.
Because I went down to Biloxi to cover the
national championship game.
Because there were like 10 guys there that Ole Miss was kind of recruiting.
Yeah.
And I remember because I drove I stayed in Mobile, and I remember on the drive from Biloxi to Mobile talking to maybe you and a couple other people going, I don't get it. This kid's good. I mean, what are you doing? And sure enough, I mean, he was actually back in Oxford. Kelly was before I was on a visit. And they did the whole let's talk about your behavior, which was code for here's the offer.
Yeah. I would have liked to have seen what Beau's career would have been without the shoulder injury against Tulane. Because he was such a different quarterback after that.
He'd have been a good player.
Yeah. I mean, he still won a lot of games and did his job, but
knew that offense back and forth.
Distributed really well as kind of a point guard out of Prince's offense. And then Chad took it to another level because he just had more arm.
Lots more arm.
Yeah, I mean,
and he was more athletic. And
whole deal.
Which
Beau was a better runner than he got credit for.
Yeah.
I mean, he ran away from LSU secondary in Baton Rouge that day. We were like, what?
He was a good athlete.
Where'd that come from?
Yeah. Devontae started at Grambling, didn't he?
Yeah.
He had a pretty good year there.
He had a good career.
Yeah.
I think they played in like whatever is it like the SWAC plays the MEAC or whatever it is, whatever that game is?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, he played in that thing. No, he had a damn good career.
He got every opportunity at Ole Miss. It just didn't work out.
Yeah. It's that whole I drop down a level and show out, which means something that bugs me. Because, I mean, you think Beau wouldn't have been able to produce at Grambling? Like, you know what I mean?
Of course.
Hey, it's...
Of course. What, Chad Kelly would have done it like the 1AA level?
Right. So, anyway. Yeah, that's Twitter this morning. You're caught up now. There's what there is to see. We'll get to some of your questions in a second. I will say this. Unless there's something that really sticks out to me, we will not do recruiting questions because we have the soft verbal. I'll tell Zach or ask Zach to go in on the board and answer some of those for subscribers if he'd like. But probably not getting overly detailed on this podcast about recruiting questions. So I'm going to skip
There's a ton of recruiting coming.
Yeah.
Tons. There's a commitment tonight. There's a commitment tomorrow. There might be more commitments. We've got a signing day guide that's almost ready that could come out as early as tomorrow probably. So we got a lot. And we will give you a soft verbal sometime in the next. We might try to knock one out tomorrow. I just don't know what my schedule looks like or what his schedule looks like. And now that Ole Miss doesn't play on Saturday, we might do one on Saturday. I don't know what his schedule looks like. We haven't had a chance to talk about it.
Okay.
Oh, and here's the football update. It's actually fairly positive, I think.
There were no COVID cases.
There were no COVID positives today. Lane keeps getting positive, negative wrong. And so you have to put it in parentheses and fix it for him.
Okay.
But there were none today. They're hopeful that they get a couple more days like that and they can start practicing. What he's hoping to do is practice on Friday and Saturday, take Sunday off, and then have a normal week starting on Monday.
The news was positive. The cases were negative.
Cases were negative.
Yeah.
Well, and listen, I'm putting words in his mouth. I'm guessing here. I think you agree. I think he's so effing sick of it that
he's just whatever.
He's whatever with it.
So we're going to pay bills in a second, then we'll get to your questions. This is even more cult than I was expecting, so I looked it up. Whoop, Texas A&M.
Okay.
Whoop. Aggie upperclassmen and graduates will often say whoop as an expression of approval or excitement. It is most often used at the end of an Aggie yell. Underclassmen are not supposed to say the word until they've reached junior or senior status.
Oh, for the love of God. Why would anybody go there? That is so weird.
Well, Ross didn't graduate from A&M. I'm too loud. Underclassmen, no. Yeah. That's not your word. Good. Okay. Oh,
do you have to wait till you're a junior to pet the collie, or how does that work? Can you touch the collie?
I don't know. Is the collie touchable?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
I don't know. I'm not up on my A&M
Are you not?
trivia, no. I'll have to get Ross back on and ask these questions. Community Mortgage, Oxford, Memphis, Citto County, and Chattanooga. All underwriting and processing is done in Memphis. They're getting local underwriting and understands your market, a leader in condo financing, the float down option, and more. You can find Jason at 662-234-2704 or JLOWE at communitymtg.com.
Oh, what a bunch of clowns. You really can't help but cheer against them. You just want...
I really wanted them to lose a football game last Saturday against Auburn for whatever reason.
You know what would be great is if Tennessee had decided to fire Pruitt and then they beat A&M and they keep Pruitt and A&M's done.
It would work out for everybody.
I mean, wouldn't you get a great kick out of that? Anyway, also brought to you by The Rogue. The Rogue is your destination for fine men's clothing. Their stylist hand-select pieces from top designers. From work to nightlife to lifestyle, there's the perfect something for everyone. They've got all the best items. Peter Millar, Martin Dingman, Jack Victor, Halsey, True Grit, Duckhead, and more. It's therogue.com. I'm going to be in Jackson tomorrow. I might stop by therogue.com. I need to get in touch with Luke there and make note of that. We're also brought to you by Heritage Properties, home to 3 communities in Oxford, Faulkner Flats, Cambridge Station, Lexington Point. Lexington Point, located less than a mile from campus, has spacious 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartment homes, free cable and internet, covered parking, and much more. Get in touch with them at 662-234-4558. Also brought to you by Meadowbrook Wealth Advisors of Raymond James. It's a team in Jackson providing planning and investment guidance to clients across the state and surrounding areas. Financial advisors Bill Geary, Logan Phillips, Chris Carrero, and Ryan Geary are partners with the commitment to personalized service. Call them at 601-368-2215. See if they might be a good fit for your financial goals. Raymond James and Associates Incorporated, member New York Stock Exchange, SIPC. And we're brought to you by Grenada Nissan. If you're in the market for a Nissan vehicle, Grenada Nissan's the place to go. They've got a complete selection of new and previously owned Nissan vehicles, great lease deals as well. It's GrenadaNissanUSA.com. And we're coming up on the deadline to register your child for Oxford Park Commission 2021 youth basketball. It's available to kids ages 5 to 15. The cost to play is $50. There are discounts available for multiple players from the same family. The deadline to sign up is December the 13th. So visit OxfordParkCommission.com to register.
So, yeah, go ahead.
Whoop.
Oh, yeah. Firefighter Reb, rank SEC football programs, baseball, basketball facilities. Obviously, I'm not going to go 1 to 14. The big thing with Ole Miss right now is creature comfort. And frankly, that's around the league in general. Like kids, players, recruits, yeah, stadiums are nice, big stadiums are nice. What do you have for me? What's the locker room look like? What's the weight room look like? What are any sort of
where am I going to be
recreational
living?
Thing where you live in? Yeah, residential dorms are a really big deal. Those are the things.
And it's not even a dorm. They want apartment-style kind of things. They want dorms that have like a Starbucks down in them. Stuff. They want creature comforts.
That's the improvements that need to be made.
Got to be made. Don't need to be made.
Yeah, I have now. Where they rank in the league, I have no idea. Except they need more of them. No clue.
Yeah.
I can't tell you who has dorms like that and doesn't inside the SEC. I have no idea.
And I know what I would do with the football stadium. I'd take the top rows out of that stadium, all over it,
and private,
and I would make it
premium
private
areas. Yeah,
suites.
Yeah,
suites.
That's where you make money.
That's where the money is.
Suites, not club areas.
Suites.
You'd separate it.
Yes.
Okay.
I would do suites all over the top of that stadium because it's not a super tall
stadium. You think
stadium.
you could sell the suites?
Yeah.
Club areas are easier to sell.
I don't know. I think I could sell both.
Okay. I talked to Mike about that. He was really happy. He said it was by accident, but when Swayze went to club, it was just kind of the start of doing much more club areas, and he was really, really happy that decision was made because he said had they done it 5 years before that, it would have been suites. And he said he thought that would have been a negative for their thing, that just the way the timing worked out, it was club.
Well, with baseball, there's a
little more of a communal situation.
Yeah,
Baseball, it's really the haves and the have-nots from a facility standpoint. Ole Miss is up there as well as anybody right now because of what they've done down that right field line with weight rooms, dressing rooms, and all the different added amenities that we're talking about. You can make the argument that it's Ole Miss and State in that category, 1, 2, in whatever order you want to pick. State obviously has an incredible facility, but from a player thing, it's probably about the same. LSU would be in that. Arkansas probably even lagging a little now just because the stadium's a little older.
Yeah, Arkansas's updated their player facility dramatically.
And that's kind of it. I don't know what Florida has just built a brand new park, and I don't know what theirs looks like.
What about A&M?
It's a little old. It's crazy to say, but it's a little outdated. It's right. It's right in that area. South Carolina and A&M are the two that probably need to do just a little bit.
Boy, I don't
Even
know.
though Carolina's not old at all.
Gig 'em.
I'm just saying.
Just gig 'em.
After that, I don't even know because Alabama redid Sewell Thomas, but they just built on the same gut, so there's not a ton of extra there. I love Plainsman Park, but there is no additional stuff for players at all. It just kind of goes down from there. I would assume, even though I don't know, that Vanderbilt has great facilities from a player standpoint. I don't know, but I would assume so.
I think so.
Yeah, I would say that's probably a truth. I know Georgia's been trying to improve theirs, but they haven't to the extent that they need to. And then you've got some that just are not going to put a lot of effort into it. Tennessee, Missouri, and whatnot. Kentucky just put $42 million in their park.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wonder if they're wishing they had that back.
Like I say, that tells you a lot right there. Basketball, I don't know. I know what arenas I like, but as far as what people have, I have no clue.
Ole Miss probably has.
It's got to be top 2 or 3
Yeah,
for sure.
Ole Miss, Carolina. The facility at Carolina is really nice.
At Colonial?
Yeah. It's really
nice. Is that downtown or?
Yeah, it's downtown,
right?
It's really nice.
Okay.
But their campus is basically downtown.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Auburn's got a new arena that's real nice. I mean, Rupp's cool. It's fine. Tennessee's got a nice basketball arena.
Bud Walton's a little outdated now.
Bud Walton's kind of outdated. Still cool. It's a cool venue to go to a game.
Let's see. Newa probably has not heard the rumors of Kiffin to ULM, but they're coming anytime now.
Yeah, I mean, we're working on some things.
Rank the past.
I'm right now trying to get that job.
So you can't really help Lane right now.
I'm.
That would be counterproductive.
Yeah, if I get Lane the ULM job, what happens to me?
Rank the last 7.
Should I be bothered by
the?
I've reached out so many times, and so far contact is a minimum.
I will guarantee that you're making some social media guy at ULM laugh. Somewhere down the line, there's some ULM dude that goes, "Oh shit, here we go again this morning." All right. Look, Kiffin's only coached 8 games, so I don't know where to put him. Tuberville, Cutcliffe, Orgeron, Nutt, Freeze, Luke, Kiffin. They want him ranked.
Oh hell, I don't know. I mean, you can't rank Kiffin yet.
No. It's Freeze or Tuberville 1, depending on how you want to have that conversation.
Yeah, it's probably Freeze 1.
Tuberville 2. Because Tub left Cut with a really loaded roster.
Cutcliffe's probably 3.
You have Cutcliffe over Nutt.
Yes.
And then
Houston had 1.5 good years, and then the thing blew up.
Never recruited.
David didn't collapse until year
the end
7 or whatever that was.
04. And then it's Matt and then O. O's last. I mean, there's no doubt. And yeah, there's just a big NA next to Kiffin. I don't know. I mean, he's 8 games, 4-4. Things have gone well to this point, but he hasn't even signed his first recruiting class yet. Now, he has a very high ceiling. I mean, if he said we bumped him on up there pretty dang good in a year or two, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't know where to put him at this point in that list. So, I don't know. 1910 or 1920 Old Forester. That's speaking of bourbon. The 1910 is my favorite of the Old Forester line. We've talked about it on the show a pretty good bit over the course of this and hand raised guys. It's a little harder to find, although they are making it a permanent fixture of Old Forester. They're not going to take it off the shelves. The 1920, it's the Prohibition style one where they had a license to do medicinal bourbon back during Prohibition. So it's a recipe that kind of nods at that era. It's 115 proof, I think, and it's a little hotter, typically what I would like, but it's got kind of a strong medicinal quality to me. I don't love the 1920. I like the 1910 the best, and then I like the 1897 Bottled and Bond second from that Old Forester series, and I'm pretty strong on those two for sure. Let's see. Do you guys think Kiffin looks at resetting his coaching staff this offseason, given the uncertainty at places like Tennessee, Auburn, LSU? Not really.
No, not really.
Mm-mm. Speaking of here, Hattiesburg Reb, can we start a GoFundMe to replace Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace? Did you read that story in the Chicago Tribune this morning?
No.
Did you not?
No.
You should go read it. We'll talk tomorrow.
Give me the cliffs.
The cliffs is that not only did they trade up to take Trubisky, but that they essentially hid it from the rest of the front office. No one else knew it was happening, and nobody could figure out why they were not paying any more attention to Deshaun Watson, because essentially they were ignoring him on his visit and then staging a coup to try to be the smartest men in the room and take Trubisky at the end of the day.
I just pulled it up. I can already tell I'm going to hate this.
Hold on, and I'll give you some relevant or some relevant quotes. Just give me.
Oh, I've got it up right here.
Just give me 1 second, and we'll. You didn't see this morning.
No. I've been busy, and I'm glad, because stuff like this really when people try to be smarter than everybody else.
Yeah, the key one, over the last few years, details of the Bears' jumbled quarterback evaluation process in 2017 have trickled across the NFL. The disbelief and sympathetic lament have grown. It's established that none of the Bears' coaches had an inkling of Ryan Pace's plan to select Mitch Trubisky, or even the front office's passionate desire to pick a quarterback until draft day.
One league source, the quote, oh my God. Making sure I read this properly. Only in an organization where there aren't proper checks and balances could that happen. There's no plausible way in the world that a decision of that magnitude wouldn't have been bounced off management and ownership. And in a healthy organization, there's a 0% chance that a decision of that magnitude would have been made without at least the head coach knowing. 0. Because that's a monumental moment for your franchise.
Yeah.
I'll never understand it.
Apparently, it's one of two fairly notable ones. I'm reading through a couple of Twitter mentioned things. The Alex Smith trade to Kansas City was much the same way. They said trading a third-round pick and Kendall Fuller to the Chiefs. Only GM Bruce Allen enacted the plan. The rest of the front offices and coaches found out the following morning.
So am I to believe that the coach of the Bears at the time, who I guess was that Fox?
Yeah, I think that was Fox.
Did not know that they were taking Mitch Trubisky until they took Mitch Trubisky?
According to that article, that is correct.
Here's what I'm told, and this is coming from a media member in Chicago who would absolutely know, okay?
Sure.
Is that Mahomes' private workout for the Bears to this day was the most impressive workout that the Bears' offensive staff, that's Fox and those guys, had ever seen. Ever. And NFL people are typically lifers. They've seen everything. There were people in the Bears' offensive staff who walked away from the Mahomes workout saying there's nothing else left to be seen. And they loved Deshaun Watson. But they were like, that's the guy.
Well, you can finish it later if you'd like.
I don't even know that I want to.
Oh, jeez. All right, let's see. What do we have? I'm guessing that was referencing that story, but anyway.
One league source who knows former Bears coach John Fox well said, quote, you could have stapled his lip to a carpet when he had that happen to him.
Really?
Didn't know until draft day. So I guess that's implying that his mouth just dropped open like, oh my God.
Jesus.
I wish you hadn't told me about this. Okay. The Bears were clearly trying to keep other teams off their scent. I get that. This is an NFL executive. But typically, if you're searching for your franchise quarterback, you need to get at least a private workout in with anybody who is a possible candidate. You need to see that workout. You need to meet with the guy one-on-one. You need to know everything about him, especially if you're picking as high as the Bears were. You just have to do that. That's such an investment for the organization. If you don't do that properly, it can set you back for years, obviously, end quote.
Yeah. Let's see. When you had Freeze on the podcast last spring, what was the discussion on who can conduct the interview? I have a better relationship with Hugh and don't have the negative baggage that Neil does with Hugh.
Well, and there were certain things he would not talk about, and I said, well, then I'm not going to do it. Look, Hugh and I do not have a good relationship.
Yeah.
Hugh told a lot of people in this town in 2016 that had it not been for me asking questions in Chicago at the draft, that there would not have been a continued NCAA investigation, which is
essentially the second investigation.
Which is a lie. He said that had that not happened, that the program would not have been impacted, which is a complete lie. I've, to his face, told him that was unfair and that was wrong and he shouldn't do it, and he continued to do it. And frankly, I'm just going to be real here, it made my life here for a while pretty miserable. It got to my kids. It certainly got to Campbell. I didn't know until Campbell was well into her freshman year that it bothered her as much as it did. So my relationship with him is just simply not all that good. Our relationship professionally was fine, with the exception of a couple of weird things, but that's fine. Look, here's the deal. If you're a beat writer and you cover a guy for a long time, you're going to have moments where you just don't get along that well. That's just the way it is. I mean, Andy Kennedy and I have a lot of similarities. We have a lot in common. And we got along swimmingly. Mm-hmm. But he got pissed off at me a couple of times, including one time where he and I really didn't speak for about 2 years, other than professional exchanges.
Sure.
So that happens.
Yeah. Podcast brought to you in part by Tyson Drugs and G&M Pharmacy. Tyson Drugs there in Holly Springs, G&M on South Lamar in Oxford, 662-236-2222. They deliver locally in the Oxford area. They offer MedSync to fill your prescriptions the same day every month to make it easy on you with one trip, whether it be carry-out or delivery there at the pharmacy. And with Right Way Meds, they individually package your medication with timestamps, appropriate days, to make it as easy as possible for those who potentially could save a life in the process with the correct doses and correct times for your medication. So for all those things and more, G&M, again, on South Lamar, 662-236-2222.
The more I read that story, the more it's just like, ugh. Don't you have to fire them?
You already had to fire them, but yeah, sure.
I mean, you're having to really fire them now. Cold weather is here. If you haven't done it already, now's a great time to start preparing for that colder weather. All you got to do is get in touch with our friends at Comer Heating and Air. They've got you covered. Comer Heating and Air is the name you can trust. They bring more than 50 years of professional HVAC experience to Oxford, Tupelo, and the surrounding area. They're offering a special fall preventative maintenance agreement to make sure that your heating system is running in tip-top shape. Give them a call, 662-801-1777 for all of your heating and cooling needs. Again, 662-801-1777. It's hard to believe, but it's true. Christmas right around the corner. Avoid the last-minute scramble this year. Let the folks over at Blue Delta Jeans make your holiday gifting simple. Visit their site, BlueDeltaJeans.com, or stop by the Oxford studio to purchase your loved ones a gift card for a pair of bespoke Mississippi-made jeans. Every gift card for the full value of a jean will receive a signed copy of Wright Thompson's newly released Pappyland. And don't forget, they're here for your holiday gifting at work as well. No matter the number of people in your company, give Blue Delta a call to inquire about bringing Blue Delta jeans to your office for the best holiday gift out there. Again, BlueDeltaJeans.com. If you need some socks to go with your Blue Deltas, go to DeadSoxy.com. DeadSoxy.com. Enter promo code HOLIDAYPRO at checkout, and you'll get 35%, I should say, off of your entire order. And we're brought to you by Oxford University Bank, OUB, locally owned and operated right here in Oxford. When you deposit money at OUB, that money and the vast majority of the bank's profits go right back into the Oxford community. OUB gives you the comfort of home, all the benefits the big mega banks provide, all the technology and products you can want. all with the personal touch. When you call OUB, you speak directly with a live person. No 10 buttons to push, no 5 minutes to wait. Live Oxford, bankoxford.com, or call 662-234-6668. OUB is FDIC insured.
Unconfirmed source says, I apologize for already covered. The thoughts on Missouri's athletic Twitter page owning Pat 40 on Saturday and him getting his feelings hurt. I had not seen this until it was put on the board. Missouri, 40 says, oh my God, Missouri just found another way to Missouri a game as they appeared to be going to lose to Arkansas on Saturday. Missouri Athletics responds, quote tweets him and says, if by Missouri a game you mean beat your rival, then you nailed it. Pat then responds and goes, my alumni donations will continue going to the School of Journalism, not athletics. Potentially the most on-brand reply in the history of the world.
Yes.
I mean,
ladies and gentlemen.
Case closed.
Yes.
Yeah. We did that whole court analogy thing the other day. We're done.
Well, those guys spend football Saturdays seeing who can be cutest on Twitter. That was that day with the Peach Bowl.
When Devontae
when he's
and
like,
Ryan
you have to take Beau out. And I was like, to put who in?
Yeah.
Mind your beat. I'm like, I'm literally sitting here covering my beat. Who would you put in at this moment?
Just pull Beau out of his last game for what?
I mean, for what? I mean, he's going to get pulled eventually, but if you're pulling him right this moment, to do what?
Yeah.
Because Beau, quite frankly, wouldn't mind leaving. But, I mean, who's going to come in and play? There was no Eli Manning waiting in the wings.
Chad was at East Mississippi. I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, what a – and then he complained. I can say it now because Eric's not my boss anymore. And I get a call from –
he went to the principal.
Went to the principal, and I get a call from Eric Winter in the third quarter going, hey, leave Pat alone.
That's right.
And I'm like, oh, for the love of God.
Yeah, that's right. Leave Pat alone.
I was so pissed.
The happiest people in that whole stadium were those TCU beat writers that were behind us. They were trying to do a video when we were doing the post-game work, and they were screaming.
Yeah, they
just screaming.
So loud.
Yeah.
And it was like, guys, this game's been over for 6 hours.
Because the only story was, hey, is Laramie's leg okay?
Yeah.
It was the only story at the end of that game.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Dad and Robert Kindici had like a book on existentialism or something in his locker, and everybody started going, so you want to take me through it? What's up?
Yeah.
Like we had that conversation for a minute.
Post game.
Yeah, because the locker rooms were open. And somebody saw the book, like, and there was like Courtney Cronin or somebody, and it was like, so you want to run through it? Like, what's up?
That was the week that we got Robert during the week in Atlanta, and he just
was all over.
He was all over, but he wanted to talk for. He would have.
We got all three of them, and they all wanted to talk.
They wanted to talk, and he would have gone for an hour, and they were like, pull him away, and we're like, wait, hold up.
Yeah.
Because it gotten to the point where it was we would get, on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we get Mike Hilton.
Got a lot of Mike Hilton.
And it was like, hey, guys, everybody here loves Mike, but we're running out of stuff to ask Mike.
Yeah. God, we did get a lot of Mike.
A lot of Mike.
A lot of Evan.
Yeah.
A lot of Evan.
A lot of Evan. A lot of Mike.
Yeah.
Got them on such a steady deal that we finally were like, guys, there's nothing more to ask them.
Yeah. What are your guys' opinions on renovation budget and the three most important things they need to upgrade? Like we said, locker rooms, things that they can actually fix. I think the weight room needs work because, I mean, it's a university thing for dorms. That's nothing that, I mean, they can push, but they're not building that themselves with Loyalty Foundation money. Yeah, I mean, the IPF, as nice as it is in some ways, is outdated in some ways. They need to do what they can to fix a lot of it. I mean, that's
weight rooms got to get fixed. More locker rooms got to get redone. And it's a waste of money, but it's money that you have to spend to compete because these 5-star kids, when they start taking visits,
you got to differentiate it somehow. I mean, that's the
you got to
deal.
keep up.
I'm expecting Georgia or Alabama for Eric Gilbert. That appears to be what everybody's saying, so sure.
There's some Tennessee buzz for some reason, but I'm not sure why I buy that.
Yeah, I don't think I buy that. Do you guys have any warm-up routines for going live? High leg kicks, sputter phrases like arsonists have oddly shaped feet. You can see Chase gargling water of his Yeti cup while doing his ABCs. The lack of prep would be disturbing, frankly, if people saw it. We always said, we really wanted to make it organic, but I don't know. Frankly, I've got a list of topics, and I tear out a piece of paper and I grab a pen, and that's seriously all we do. There's no more prep other than hit the button and here we go. Let's see. You're Woodard at LSU. How do you navigate the mess that is going on in Baton Rouge? Well, it depends. Do I want Edo fired or not right now? Because I can scapegoat this thing a little bit if I really want to.
Yeah, it's a really bad look coming off of where they were just 1 year ago to be firing the coach.
Okay, it's college football.
It is.
Whatever.
I want to see what they look like Saturday. What they look like against Ole Miss.
They've had 16 players out right now.
Yeah.
I saw Dellinger's thing this morning.
Listen, you can call that opting out if you want.
It's quitting.
Thank you.
At this point in the season, it is quitting.
It's quitting.
Yeah. Quitting with cause.
You're saying, I'm done. This isn't worth it to me.
Yeah. What do we think maximum stadium capacity will be across the SEC next season? I don't know. I mean,
what do you think? I mean, no one likes my answer. I fear it's the same in August as it is right now.
Same.
I mean, I pray I'm wrong.
75. Maybe we're not normal, but maybe it's close. 75, something like that.
Well, if you get to 75, why not just go to 100?
Yeah, I mean, okay. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's at least 50, though. I don't think it's sitting where it is right now. Is Mississippi one of the hardest states to recruit within its borders? Seem like some kids are predetermined to go to a certain school based on environment within the school or area. For example, the John Lewis recruitment, rumor has it his high school has strong MSU influence with the admin coaching. Ole Miss hasn't signed an olive branch recruit since Alan Walker. It's only an hour away from Oxford. Was this the case in other states like Alabama, where you covered high school recruiting? It seems like a recruiting plan more weighted outside of Mississippi borders is a better investment than one solely focused on Mississippi. Obviously, if you have natural advantages like South Panola, but nonetheless. I mean, every state's going to have some of this. It does appear that Ole Miss struggles in some areas more than others with environments and high school coaches and whatnot for whatever reason. Some of it, though, is just having a coach that can kind of do it. I mean, Freeze and Mullen kept guys home for the most part.
Yeah.
They did a pretty good job. Nutt didn't. I mean...
No, Nutt didn't try.
And Lane wants to cherry pick and then go get national guys.
Yeah.
That's what he wants to do. So, yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to get the guys you need to get. You don't need to go fill your class with 18 of them just to go, hey, look at all the Mississippi kids I signed. Well, okay.
No. Well, it's an easy mistake to make.
It's been made.
Oh, it's been made repeatedly.
You get caught up in some of the politics and different stuff with it.
Well, you get a lot of praise when you take the in-state kids. Unfortunately, you don't field praise.
Yeah. This is not a good category for me. Jack Sachs 92 says, been on a bit of a war movie kick lately. I just want to know some of y'all's favorites.
I don't like them.
You struggle with them?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Saving Private Ryan was good.
I can't get through it.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, I liked Patton a lot.
Yeah. I don't watch enough of them to be able to comment on that genre.
Yeah.
If there's a lot of blood and gore,
You're pretty out.
I'm out.
Looking back, it's fairly amazing you got through Breaking Bad.
Oh, I had to stop several times.
That we got you through that is.
I was pissed at y'all a few times. So like, you knew me well enough to know that I wasn't going to do this, but I'd said I would do it, and so I did it.
Yeah, because you stopped for a couple of weeks after the season 5 episode with the kid.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, had that been season 1, you never.
Oh no! I would have told y'all to go.
You were just so invested at that point that you're like, okay. I mean, there's only like 4 episodes left or whatever it is.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Season
God,
4,
that was the
season 5.
worst. That was the worst. I was legitimately pissed off at the people who filmed the whole deal.
Yeah,
I had to keep reminding myself, Neil, it didn't really
happen. It's a TV show.
It didn't really happen.
All-time favorite Christmas gifts you've been gifted over the years. Got anything banking on Santa bringing this year? I've said this. I'm a terrible gift receiver. I really am. I admit it. I apologize to people. I don't know. I'm not in a holiday mood or attitude yet. I feel like I've just sort of delayed Christmas being in a couple weeks.
Oh, really?
Like, I don't feel like I've overtaken the holidays much at this point.
I'm pretty much done with my Christmas shopping. Got
really?
one more thing to do, yeah. And actually, the year that I waited until Christmas Eve and did it in a mad rush, was really fun. That was the most fun Christmas Eve I've had in a long time. I waited till 9 o'clock on the morning of Christmas Eve and then hit it, thinking that Oxford would be packed.
I hate to say this out loud. Christmas Eve in Oxford, there's nobody out shopping.
No.
It's fantastic.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was great. I had stores to myself. I walked right in, got what I needed, had it wrapped, the whole deal. Finished about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I came home, poured a beer.
Yeah.
Well, this is great.
Yeah. No, Christmas Eve in Oxford shopping-wise is all right.
Yeah, I was super pleased with myself that day.
North Tampa Rebel asks, will Neil eat a McRib?
Mm-mm.
Gross.
Yeah, that's not my thing.
You mean the fake seared, charred lines on the McRib is not?
No.
The constructed pork?
I mean, look, if I ever have like a fast food craving, it's for like a burger. I like the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. If I were to have some crazy fast food thing, I might go get the Popeye sandwich to see what all the fuss is about. Although I don't want the mayonnaise on it.
That kills it to me. That's how it comes.
I mean, I'd have to say no mayo.
Yeah.
But okay. But no.
Do you put another condiment on it, or are you just dry?
I could go without a condiment.
Okay.
Although I typically just replace mustard for mayo.
Even on the fried chicken sandwich?
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
Worst way to spend Christmas. Option 1, hanging out with Houston Dale Nutt and Hugh Freeze over a long weekend in Oxford.
Oh, God.
Option 2, members of others' beats.
Well, which beat?
I'm assuming they mean the bad ones, if forgetting the question.
Oh. Because, I mean, I could hang out
maybe
with
like
Jay or what I get
maybe
drunk.
like Steve
Gabe.
and the bro guy and some dudes like that.
Can we just skip Christmas?
I'm picking Freeze and Nutt over the beats. I'm not sure it's relatively close.
No, I would pick Freeze and Nutt.
Not even, I mean,
Well,
I think you have a nice dinner with Houston.
Yeah.
They'll get a steak.
It'd be fine.
Have some conversation.
We'd all be fake. We'd all pretend that we liked each other. And then as soon as it was over, we'd all pick up our separate phones going, that guy's a total.
But got through the day.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's all good. Let's see.
For $100,000, you got to either eat the McRib with cheese or the McFish with cheese.
Oh, it's the fish. It's not
the
close.
fish. Yeah, it's the fish.
Yeah. I haven't had one in years, but it's the fish. No, I don't like tartar sauce.
Mm-mm.
It's gross.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
So that throws it off a little bit. But no, it's the fish. It's not even
just,
out.
That's right. Just give me the bread and the fish and the cheese and give me my money.
Top 5 Christmas or winter beers. That's definitely a Neil category. My only things we said is it's not the Avita Christmas Ale, but otherwise I have
no it's not that. Sierra Nevada has a celebration ale that's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good.
All right.
Bell's. I'm a big Bell's Brewery fan. There's not much they do that I don't think is fantastic. Their holiday or Christmas, whatever it's called, is good. I don't like the Avita one at all. That's about it. I'm big on Bell's in terms of stuff you can get at the store. Yeah, like the Oberon and the Two Hearted Ale. Their Pilsner's fantastic. Their stuff is good. Even their vanilla porter is good if you like Guinness type stuff.
Yeah, like I pulled up 10 best Christmas beers, and I couldn't even to say I couldn't even tell you anything about these would be a.
What are they? Probably not stuff.
I won't even be able to pronounce this name. 3 Trogs, the Mad Elf. No clue.
Nope.
Anchor of Christmas Ale.
Oh, is that from Anchor Brewery?
Hold on. Let me pull up the actual story to see if I can get a brewery on this.
Because Anchor, the people that do Anchor Steam and stuff, that's pretty good beer.
All right, number 1, 21st Amendment Brewery Fireside Chat. You have any idea? Never heard of it?
Nope.
Rogue Santa's Private Reserve.
Okay.
I guess Rogue Santa's Private Reserve.
Treg's
the Mad Elf. Anchor Christmas Ale.
Okay.
And so, yeah, as you said.
Yeah.
Saint Bernardus Christmas Ale.
Oh, yeah.
Bernardus.
Yeah, they have good beers.
Deschutes Brewery. Jubilee.
Mm-mm.
Jubel. Jubel L. Sorry, Jubel L.
Okay.
I did not read it very well. Avery Brewing Old Jubilation.
Okay.
Boulevard Brewing Snow and Tail.
Oh, yeah.
You know that one?
Yeah.
Okay. What worries me a little bit is I got a feeling this is kind of a beta-ish, even though it might be better, because their description, it pours the color of Santa suit at night. It tastes woodsy with a hike through a pine forest. You're getting into a weird, sappy territory when you tell me that.
But that Abita thing was like, yeah.
I mean, it's like you licked a pine tree.
Yeah, well, can't.
Brooklyn Winter Ale, and then Bell's Christmas Ale finishes the list.
Okay.
Yes, another Scotch ale, but the style is well suited for the season. This one gives off an aroma of baking bread and tastes milder than most, but that's a good thing. It's your Christmas ale for when you've had a little too much Christmas.
Yeah,
it's
good.
Says them. So.
Is it Ginger says Leinenkugel has a good one. I've not had theirs, but I've seen it. I'll give it a shot. I like a lot of Leinenkugel products. Some of their products are a little.
I've never had.
They're a little carbonated sometimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a little bit, but they have some. Some of their stuff is excellent. Like in the heat in the summer, their summer shandy is, I think it's terrific.
Oh, their summer shandy is good.
It's terrific.
Yeah, it's excellent. Let's see. Okay, we'll take one more break. Tell you about Visit Oxford. Visit OxfordMS.com. You go to the events page, see all the different things going on for the holiday season. Santa's going to be at Visit Oxford December 12th and December 19th, 1 to 3 o'clock. Is the time on both of those. You still can do Winter Wonderland at the Lafayette County Multipurpose Arena, seeing a lot of pictures and videos from that. Really good time with a lot of different things involved. That's at the Lafayette County Multipurpose Arena from December 6th to December 13th. And then Holly Jolly Holidays, December 11th to December 13th this week. They're putting the big ice skating rink in front of Nilsson's, in front of City Hall right there. They're doing carriage rides, hot chocolate, and more. You can go to the website and visit OxfordMS.com/HollyJolly for more information on that as well. So tons of stuff going on in Oxford this holiday season. So take advantage. Also on Saturday, Sweet Tea's Jeff Taylor will be decorating a cake. He's a two-time Cake Wars champion. So that will be at 1:30 on December the 12th, somewhere on the square. So again, visit OxfordMS.com.
Podcast also brought to you by the law firm of Bain, Moss, and Bowen, located in historic downtown Corinth. Their firm practices a wider range of law, from DUI defense to car wrecks to representing government entities. Bain, Moss, and Bowen is the only firm in Mississippi made up of a sitting state legislator, a former assistant district attorney, and a former circuit court judge. Their experience is unmatched in that regard. You can tap into it by visiting them at 618 East Waldron Street in Corinth, or by calling them at 662-287-1620. We are also brought to you by Pinnacle Trust based in Madison, Mississippi. They've got they've got clients in more than 20 states, advisors in multiple states as well. Founded in 1997, Pinnacle Trust provides detailed, specialized investment management, financial planning, retirement planning for individuals and businesses, and much more. At Pinnacle Trust, investing is treated like a commodity. Decisions are made using objective information and research, not emotions. So regardless of your level of wealth, Pinnacle Trust will sit down with you, listen to your goals, study your expenses, and put forth a comprehensive, detailed financial and retirement plan built just for you. It's pintrust.com, PINN trust.com. Mention you heard about Pinnacle Trust on the podcast. You get 10% off your first year's fees. And we're brought to you by John Edwards of Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. If you're thinking about a trip for next summer, maybe you're banking on the vaccine and all of those things, and you're planning to blow it out, do this before you book anything. Get in touch with John. There are tons of deals out there right now. So get in touch with John. Tell him kind of what you have in mind. Give him some parameters, dates, that kind of thing. Give him a budget and sit back. He's going to give you a ton of options that you're not going to find on your own. And no, you don't have to live in or near Memphis to take advantage of his services. 901-494-3387 or jedwards@regencytravel.net. First-time clients can save $50 off their first booked trip just by telling John you heard about Regency Travel on the podcast.
Okay. Had it up here. Would you eat chicken nuggets if St. Leo made them for you? Absolutely. I trust them with whatever, even chicken nuggets. You do like their roasted chicken dish. Like they do that. Yeah. They do that. The plate is the
really
roasted chicken.
Really good.
Worst Christmas movie and most overrated. Worst is probably Christmas with the Cranks. I think that Tim Allen really bad movie.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
it's bad.
A Christmas Story is most overrated because of the saturation of it. That's not the movie we should get 24 hours in a row. That's my problem with it.
It was on the other day, and I watched some of it, and it's fine. It's kind of depressing.
I don't understand how it became the quintessential Christmas movie.
I don't either.
It bugs me.
None of the acting is just fantastic either. Just kind of there.
What year the Secret Wendy's opened? I know I went there in 2007, so I feel like it was open in 2006. It was right around there. I don't know.
Yeah.
It wasn't much earlier than that for sure. So yeah, somewhere in there. It stayed secret until I decided to build a high school over there. Kind of screwed it all up for all of us. Let's see. Big Ben says, I'm actually wondering on the current state of the university during COVID. How's enrollment? Most classes online in spring. Is Lane helping applications at all? And what's the word on how likely sports and the school are still affected in 21-22? Obviously, the end of that, I have no idea. I do know, and you call it a Lane effect, call it what you want to, applications year over year up between 15 and 20% from last year. Now, they have to yield that into students, but from an application standpoint, that is the case. And the two things I know on the other are there are 1,300 more in-person classes for the spring than the fall. That's the increase there. And they have told professors, everyone, they had a certain date way back in the fall, and at that point, they cannot change the mode of delivery. So they can't take a kid and change a class from in-person to online past that point. So those are the things I know at this point.
I'm going to tell you this. If in the fall, these schools, not just Ole Miss, I don't want to pick on Ole Miss here. I'm going to pick on all of them. If these schools aren't back to mostly all in-person by the fall, by August, they're going to lose business. They're going to lose significant business because a lot of freshmen will take a leap year or a jump year or a drop year, whatever the hell it's called, and just wait.
I was reading from the stream. I was trying to say what I was getting criticized about. I think it's chicken nugget takes, but I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I was trying to scroll back up.
But I can tell you that's got to happen.
Well, no, the fall's got to be different.
Got to be different.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to see people grit their teeth and sort of gut through this spring semester, although it's inexcusable unless you are a professor who's got a legitimate health risk. You are just milking it to stay home and Zoom your way through a class because you want to use the quote, you're at risk excuse. That's bullshit. You're not. And college kids are not getting sick from this, and they're not passing it on to healthy adults who are getting deathly ill. That's just not happening.
You've each been given a $10 million contract to write a book. What would each of you write a book about? Whatever they'd like for $10 million.
Yeah, I mean,
it does not matter at that point.
I've had this book question a lot, and I know it leads into a joke about other authors and such. I'm not talented enough to write a book.
It depends what you're talking about. I mean,
I'm not.
My point is, you could do a collection of smaller things that are a book, though. You know what I mean?
I guess. To me, that's not a book, though. To me, that's a collection.
You're talking about like 80,000 words, all in the same thing, all in one page.
I'm talking about writing a book about either a novel or writing a biography or whatever. I'm not. I couldn't do that.
Which is superior, a DQ Blizzard or a Sonic Blast? It's a Blizzard, but I grew up on Blast, so I have no problem with Blast
It's
at
been
all.
a long time.
I have a hard time picking flavors for Blast as part of my thing because a Butterfinger would be my favorite, but the way it gets in my teeth bothers me, so I don't know that I would go that direction. With the Blizzard, you can do more of the brownies and the chocolate and things that are a little easier on your teeth if you're going to do the Blizzard. Yeah,
I haven't had one of those since my fat days.
Rebel Sadman says, if I bring you higher end rum, will you do a tasting like you do bourbon? Absolutely. We'll be happy to taste the rum.
Sure.
Whatever you can provide there would be accepted and appreciated. Did you guys chicken out of eating the hot suckers that guy sent? No, we just have not. When we've offered it to you guys, you have not met the requirement to get us to eat the suckers.
There's got to be a financial incentive.
Yeah, we've had a couple options for you where, hey, all of you had to do was like give like $1.50 a piece, and that thing would have been happening. And you failed. It was y'all's fault. It was not our fault. We provide the opportunities. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So that's true. That's what we're doing. Let's see. Are all media still obliged to use Twitter 10 years from now?
No.
Twitter a thing 10 years from now? Or something else?
I guess no.
No Twitter?
Twitter's got some issues right now.
It does. it's just, I'm guilty of it too. It's just not a very good way to distribute content.
No, it doesn't last.
It's so overemphasized on how important it is from a content distribution standpoint. Just not. Where's the Ole Miss program if they pack Freeze's bags and let him go to Florida in 2014?
Oh, I'm of the opinion the NCAA thing goes away.
And you think they would have hired Jim McElwain?
I do.
Yeah. Don't throw stuff at your screens. Just telling you.
I do. Ironically, if what I heard was correct, and I think it probably is, Lane Kiffin would have been tied up in that transaction. He would have gotten the job at Colorado State.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that portion of that.
Yep.
Completely forgot that.
Yep.
Because he was coming out of SC at that point?
No, he was at Alabama.
He was already at Bama?
As the coordinator.
At 14. Okay, it was his first year at Bama.
Yeah.
Okay. Neil, back in the day, what was your go-to fast food meal?
I liked that what's it called? Not Cookout, but the fast food place.
Backyard Burger?
Yeah.
Okay.
They had a jalapeno burger that I really liked.
Really?
Yeah. And they had the spicy fries.
Oh, okay. Seasoned kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was kind of my jam. Back in my really fat days.
Here, hardly try not to eat any at all, but Sonic or Chick-fil-A probably. Here.
I do like Sonic.
Yeah.
But I can't do that.
I have a lot of stuff at Sonic I could eat if I wanted to, but yeah, that's not good. Could you see Coach Orgeron entering the former head coach Saban School of Coaching? Nope. I cannot whatsoever.
Nope.
He does not play well with others, especially in that situation.
I see him moving down a level and coaching at some place for a while.
D Green Reb says, "What's your desert island bourbon and podcast? Only one because you're stranded." I get unlimited of these. Bourbon, if I'm going to be stranded on an island and I get unlimited, I want the best I can find. So it's William LaRue Weller. It's not close. I think podcast-wise, I got a lot of time to kill. So give me the Adam Carolla show because I get 2 to 3 hours a day every day. And I can be entertained enough and I can get just enough actual news from it throughout the day to fill the time. I feel like it's the most entertaining while also being purposeful as I'm on this island. So those are the two I'll go with. Let's see. I'm not doing a diehard Christmas question. Sorry, refuse. Yes, I believe that a lot of the stuff that's on Freeze could potentially come up and made public if he lands an SEC job, at least in this area, because you're recruiting against too many people that know things.
Depends on how he operates.
Yeah.
He was going to have to change his ways a little bit if he's going to take an SEC job and not get in trouble. I'm just telling you. He can't do that preachy religious recruiting BS. Mm-hmm. It'll backfire. He can't go into people's homes and talk about other people not being religious. It won't work. Now, he can go in and say, hey, I'm a good offensive coach, and I can recruit, and I can put kids in the league.
Sure.
Because he can. And he can do that. And that's what I'm curious about. If Hugh Freeze gets a job at Tennessee or Auburn or someplace like that, can he just be a football coach?
And we'll see. To this point.
The answer is absolutely not.
Yeah.
But if he could, then, hey, look, all bets are off.
Mm-hmm.
If you told me that Hugh Freeze got the Tennessee job, for example, and he said to Phil Fulmer, look, I know I don't have a good enough staff. I know I'm not connected enough. I'll let you help me put a staff together. All right, well, that'd be step one. I've seen nothing from his past to indicate he's willing to do that. But if he did it, that'd be step one. And then step two would be, I'm just going to be a football coach. In fact, GA, whoever, here's my Twitter account. Just tweet UT stuff.
Yeah. All the stuff that whatever.
Yeah. Whatever
we're excited.
And he could even every time, every time he called a recruit, he could do the fish.
Sure.
You could do some stuff like that. Whatever. Everybody does their corny crap. It's fine. Whatever. Do your thing, and then when Tennessee basketball wins a game,
congratulations.
Hey, way to go.
Barnes.
Way to go, Coach Barnes. Go Vols. That's fine. I've seen no indication he's willing to do that.
Yeah. Oh, last question. Call me the Bandit. Says who succeeds Bianco at Ole Miss? I don't know because I think we're still 5, 6, 7 years away from that. At least I don't think Mike's hanging up the cleats and the whistle anytime soon. So, I had a hot board in the system. I don't remember who was on it a couple years ago.
Yeah, I don't
remember. It doesn't. Right now is not even the time to have the conversation. The landscape will be different by the time Ole Miss needs a head coach.
Yeah, the landscape's different now.
Yeah.
Listen, this is the part of this story that I don't know, and it's because we're not doing it enough. So much money is being lost this year. You watch the basketball thing, and you see Mike Krzyzewski make his comments and whatnot, and college basketball can't get going. The product on the floor, because there's nobody in the building, the product gets exposed. Does that make sense?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
You can watch an NBA game if you're a junkie and no fans, and you can still get into, hey, how are the Suns going to mesh Chris Paul into that system? You can still watch and see a team trying to defend Giannis Antetokounmpo. You can still watch Luka Doncic and go, oh, my God, how good can he be? And you can still watch LeBron and be amazed at his greatness and James Harden and blah, 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 blah. College level doesn't have that. And so when you watch a college basketball game and there's nobody in it, it's like a snoozer. It's awful unless you're cheering for the laundry.
Sure.
But I'm talking about the mainstream fan. And then you look at the amount of money that's going to get lost in basketball. You look at the amount of money that's going to get lost in baseball if they actually try to play a full season. What does that look like? You don't have conference tournaments. Are they going to be able to bring 8 teams to Omaha? How does that work?
Yeah.
People and so you look at the possibility of another lost year or partially lost year, and what does that mean financially? And then here's the big thing, get into the 2021 season, and you tell people in athletics programs today, hey, you're going to be topped out at 50%. They'll pull their hair out.
Yeah. We will be back tomorrow with another show. Hand raised, guys. At some point, we still haven't discussed it, but we'll let you know when we know. Check rebelgrove.com in the meantime. A lot of recruiting going on, some other stuff as well. So if you're not a subscriber, it's a good time to take advantage of that. Appreciate everybody with the questions. Appreciate everybody in the stream today, and we will talk to you again tomorrow.